How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. Guys, great quick discussion today. We're going to talk about growth and how it takes time. Guys, in corrections, as a rookie, when you're coming in, as we mentioned before, you're not expected to know everything. And I feel some of the new boots today feel that they have to compete with senior staff, which means they feel they have to compete with technically experience. And I want to let the rookies know that it's not about that. It's about coming into this profession and wanting to learn, embracing the want to learn, and truly developing or cultivating yourself into the best that you could be. Again, it's not something you go into on day one, but rather leave yourself open to become. It's about your potential. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read something to you guys. It's going to come out of my new rookie book that will be released sometime next year. It's like a daily reader, March 14th right now. That's where you would find this one. And then after I read it, Joe Paponio is going to go ahead and give a reaction to what I've just read. Now, by the way, Joe has not heard this before. He was unaware of the topic. So I like to really, because Joe's got experience, you can challenge him more. So Joe doesn't need to be prepped. Joe's just going to talk from the heart. But let me introduce Joe real quick. What up, Joe?
Hey, morning, Anthony. How are you, brother?
Good. Joe, you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Joe Pomponio. I'm a retired lieutenant from the Texas Department of Corrections of 29 years, 6 months, and currently working as an assistant jail administrator in our local sheriff's department in the jail division and a panel member here for Tier Talk.
Yes. Okay, so Joe, this is just going to be a quick video. I'll read something, and then I'll give you the mic to go ahead and build your response. And these are always fun, but I feel that we're going to hit some good areas on this one. So, all right, guys, so bear with me. It's about growth takes time. The title is Patience and Growth, Learning from Senior Staff. So when you first step into the world of corrections, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially when you compare yourself to senior staff who seem to navigate the job with ease. Their confident demeanor, seamless interactions with inmates, and ability to handle high-pressure situations may make you feel like you need to catch up or even compete. But here's an important truth. You're not in competition with senior staff, nor are you expected to match their level of expertise right away. Their proficiency is the result of years of experience, not something they mastered overnight. Senior staff play a unique and critical role in the facility. They've had time to refine their approach, develop relationships with inmates, and learn the nuances of correctional work. For instance, when you observe a senior officer, interacting with an inmate, you might see a level of mutual understanding or even a casual exchange that looks effortless. To a rookie, it might be unclear how that level of rapport is achieved while still maintaining authority. What you're witnessing is a result of time, consistency, and countless experiences that have taught them how to balance professionalism and effective communication. As a rookie, you're not expected to mirror those interactions on day one. In fact, trying to do so prematurely can be counterproductive. The dynamics between senior staff and inmates are built on a foundation of trust, consistency, and mutual understanding, all of which takes time to develop. For now, your focus should be on observing, learning, and adhering to the basic principles of professionalism. Over time, as you gain experience and confidence, you'll begin to establish your own style of interaction with inmates. Reflection is an important tool as you navigate this process. Ask yourself, what qualities or habits do I admire in senior staff? How do they maintain authority while interacting with inmates? What can I learn from their actions without trying to imitate them outright? And these questions will help you focus on learning and growth rather than comparison. The key is patience. Growth in this field is incremental, and it's important to respect the process. If you rush to emulate senior staff without understanding the why behind their actions, you risk losing credibility or compromising safety. Instead, take this time to focus on building your foundation, learn the policies, understand the expectations of your role, and observe how senior staff handle various situations. Reflections can further guide you in this phase. Ask yourself, am I actively listening to the advice of experienced staff? Am I applying what I learn in a way that aligns with my role and abilities? Remember, senior staff are not your competition. They are your mentors and resources. Their experience is an asset to you, not a threat. Most of them want to see rookies succeed because they understand that the strength of the team depends on everyone's growth. Don't hesitate to approach them for guidance or insight. A simple, can you explain why you handled that situation the way you did, can open the door to valuable learning opportunities. It's also crucial to manage your expectations of yourself. You're not expected to have all the answers or master inmate interactions right away. Inmates are observant and they'll notice when you're trying to force something that doesn't come naturally. Authenticity matters, and it's okay to let your professionalism do the talking while you find your footing. Over time, as you build your knowledge and confidence, your interaction with inmates will become more fluid and effective. So, rookies, give yourself the grace to grow. Trust that your journey will look different from those around you, and that's okay. Your role on day one is to be a learner, not a competitor. Absorb the lessons from senior staff, embrace the challenges as opportunities, and focus on becoming a better officer each day. Ask yourself, am I being patient with myself? Am I focusing on progress rather than perfection? By reflecting and staying committed, you'll develop the skills and confidence to step into your own as a respected member of the team. So, Joe, there's a lot there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away and really let you have fun with this. But I thought this was relevant because sometimes you see rookies who one may come in expecting that they need to be perfect, not realizing that it's not about being perfect. It's about moving forward. And in some cases that want to be perfect may put them in a position where they feel they actually have to compete or challenge with senior staff as opposed to being open to what those lessons are. And then that really destroys what could be a possible good mentor-mentee relationship. So, Joe, please take your time. I think this is definitely something that falls well within your excellent wheelhouse, sir.
Yeah. First of all, for the rookies, understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. The corrections profession is just like any other job that you might have held in your life. When you started it, you didn't know everything the first day, and you're not going to know everything the first day. The academy is there to give you the foundation and the building blocks of what you need in order to go to your unit of assignment and be able to understand the correctional field, how it works, why it works, and why we do what we do. When you get to your facility of assignment, it should, hopefully the unit itself has a good field training officer or several good field training officers. The most important thing at this juncture is once you leave the academy and get your unit of assignment is have an open mind. Don't think that you know everything just because you went through the academy, because they don't teach you everything. They don't teach you everything you need to know. They teach you the basics and the foundations of the correctional industry. So when you're with your field training officer or, with whoever that you're, training with, keep an open mind. Your job at this point is to observe and participate, not act and overrule. These professionals have years of experience. It's going to take you years of experience in order to be proficient. There were cases where I was 5-6 years into my profession. I was still learning things. Don't emulate one person. Emulate multiple people, because all your senior staff there, each one has something that they can contribute to the process of your learning. Each one has an attribute that can help you perform your duties. They can, not only answer the whys, but the hows. Don't go in there with a closed mind and think that just because the academy taught you what you're ready to hit the ground running with somebody who's got 20 years experience. Because going in there and overreacting, going in there and trying to over excel is sometimes counterproductive. You can get ahead of yourself and leave things behind you that you should have learned before you tried to excel. And, that can hurt your career. I've seen several rookies go in there and, want to hit the ground running. They want to shake down. They want to find drugs. They want to find contraband. They want to find this. They want to find that. There's a lot of things to the correctional professionals, to the corrections profession, other than just finding contraband, just finding shanks, just finding, just the different aspects of, trying to find things. There's interaction with the offender population. There's interaction with your coworkers. There's policies and procedures. These are the most important things that you have to learn first. When you see somebody interacting with an inmate and you wonder how, and you wonder why the situation went so fluid, it's because they went through the phases of learning. They went through the phases of trial and error. They found what worked. They found what didn't work. They took that time to actually learn. Sometimes you learn in the moment, and sometimes you learn ahead of the curve. Learning ahead of time is a good thing. Learning in the moment is also a good thing. It's a good teachable moment, because that instantly tells you what works and what doesn't work. So, going into this profession, it's paramount that you keep an open mind. It's paramount that you're willing to learn, that you're willing to make mistakes. You're willing to be teachable. You're willing to participate in anything and everything that field training officer has to give you. They're not, and when I say senior staff, this, nowadays, senior staff can be somebody with only 2 years in the system. These people also have things that they can offer. You have several people there at that facility that have things to offer, and don't just think that, it's just your field training officer that has things, to offer. There are people on the shift that have things to offer. There's people in administration in the different departments that have things to offer. There's a lot of potential learning that you can do as a trainee, as a rookie. There is so much knowledge out there for you to soak up that, it's unbelievable. I love the rookie phase of my career because there was so much potential knowledge out there. There was so many different things for me to take in. And, fast forward 20 years, there wasn't that many things for me to learn anymore. As I accelerated through my career, there were always new things that were coming out that I had to learn, but there wasn't as much, knowledge out there for me to learn at that phase that there was at the rookie career. And I loved it because it was the best phase of my life. So when you hit the unit, again, be teachable. Don't think you know it all, because I'm here to tell you, you don't. Listen to your senior staff, listen to your coworkers, because these are people that have been there long enough to understand the processes, the interactions. They've gained the respectability. They've gained the knowledge and the professionalism that they're trying to pass on to you. And like I said, there are some things that other people do from each, take a piece from each individual that's there. Things that I may tell you may not work for you, but something that other people, there may be a process or something teachable from another person that might actually work for you. Don't emulate yourself just, off of one person, because there are many people there. Each person has a piece of the pie that they can give you to make a complete, a complete pan. Everybody has something to offer. I mean, everybody has something to offer. So be teachable, be open, be willing. An open mind is an awesome thing to have, and a closed mind is something that will get you in trouble. It could get you hurt and get, you get yourself or your coworkers hurt. So be open-minded, be willing to understand, be willing to be teachable, be willing to participate, And what I mean by participate is participate. Don't try to overrule the situation. Don't try to be the leader in each situation. When we get you as rookies to the unit, we want you to participate. We don't want you to be silent. We don't want you to be quiet. We want you to act and actually participate, because some of your hands-on experience during the training process, during the training phase is paramount. It's something that gives you the practice of everyday, applicability to any situation. It's what makes you grow. It's what helps you excel. And, don't be in a hurry to be a superstar. Because sometimes trying, like I said earlier, trying to over excel is sometimes counterproductive. You miss some of the basic things in the process as you try to over excel. Don't go in there thinking that, I want to be a STG, a security threat group person. I want to be a contraband interdiction person. I want to be this. I want to be that. Go in there and learn everything. You're going to find that every department, every person has something to offer and contribute to help you be a better correctional officer. Even as a retired lieutenant, I found that there were things I learned, not just in security, through the classification, through medical, through education, through, transportation. There was a ton of things that I learned after the fact that I found interesting, and really amazed me as to how and why they do what they do. And it gave me an overall better picture of the facility. So don't go in there streamlined and with tunnel vision, thinking that, you're going to focus on one thing. Because, as a correctional professional, it's our job to focus on a lot, not just the inmates, not just the staff. We got to look at the security principles of the facility to make sure that we're safe and secure. There's a lot of processes out there that you will have to learn over time. It's not something that you're going to learn on your first day. It's not something you're going to learn within your first 6 weeks. I really did not feel that I was a true correctional officer until probably about my first year mark, because there was so much knowledge out there. There were so many things out there that I had to learn and actually do through repetition. And some of those were the basic things: running day rooms, running ins and outs, count time, feeding procedures, seg environments. There was, and it can be overwhelming at times, because there's a lot there. There's a lot to digest. So, when you go in there and you're going through the learning process and sometimes you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Just let somebody know, hey, let's slow this down just a little bit. I got a lot coming at me and I can't absorb it all. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, because it was overwhelming for me. There was a lot there. So, in closing, make sure, in order to be a well-maintained, a well-trained correctional professional, is to be open-minded with the people you interact with. Soak in what they give you. Don't be closed off just because you went to the academy. Because I'm here to tell you, the academy doesn't teach you everything. There are so many different styles of facilities. There are so many different tempos. There's so many different cultures within a facility. It's impossible for an academy to teach everything that goes on at a single facility. No matter where you go, there's going to be updated processes. There are going to be different ways of completing tasks. Be open-minded. Be willing to learn. The more you're willing to learn, the more you're going to excel at your career. Because I'm telling you, in the correctional professional and, in the corrections industry, knowledge is power. So just be open-minded.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, I think this is a good dialogue. I chose this because I think you want to grow in your foundation before you sit there and want to challenge it. And also I chose inmate interactions because I feel that's where you're going to see the most diverse responses. And it's true. You're going to find officers are going to be strict and firm, but it works. And you're going to find officers that are professionally compassionate, and it works. And because they found, like Joe said, different ways to navigate from what they saw that was in front of them from the different officers, and they found what best works for them. I like what we said. I'm not out to be you, but let me see what you can teach me, so I can see what I can embrace, so I can remain me in the process. And sometimes, guys, it is that balance of that professional compassion and then the extreme of the absolute authority. Somewhere along the line, you're going to develop who you need to be somewhere in the middle of that, if that makes sense. As always, guys, the show is tipped. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify you every time I post a video. Stay safe.